guys, we are back with another song by Eminem. And which one are we doing today?
So today we're doing Remind Me. Do you know this?
I don't know.
So, okay, there's actually an intro to the song. I was fortunately able to find a video that has both of them combined to one track.
Ooh,
So it's a Remind Me intro is track 6 off Revival, and then track 7 is the song Remind Me.
it makes me, the only thing that's coming to my mind is Remember Me, but
So
it's a different song and we did that already.
yeah, so as we discussed when this album came out in 2017, I skimmed through it, I showed you it, and this actually one you did. So you like the song that is sampled here, and I think by default you kind of liked this song.
Okay.
So I know you don't remember right now, but
No.
you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay, sounds good.
So yes, we're gonna listen to it.
Good.
I'm gonna pause it when the intro ends, technically, and then, we'll listen and break it down.
Okay. Yes. And this video is sponsored by Carnivore Snacks. Literally one of the greatest meat snacks ever. It is like a dried meat. There's only 2 ingredients. Well, this is pork loin. So it's pastured pork loin and Redmond real salt. So they're not feeding it any of that like corn garbage. Like they're actually pasture raised, which is great. And it is like literally melts in your mouth. It's like the most delicious thing ever. I was just eating like a whole bunch of this before. Usually I eat it on set, like on set in the video to show you that like I really do eat it. Like I do love it. But then I start talking with my mouth full and it's gross. So I love it. I promise. And literally amazing. I've loved them before we were sponsored by them. I only like to be sponsored by companies that I actually love. So if I don't love it, we're not sponsoring it if he doesn't love it either. And literally delicious. I can't say anymore. I'll show you what it looks like. Here's the piece. I know I don't. Sorry. I had to. But you can use our coupon code with Smith for 15% off your order. And the link for that is in the description below. You can also check out Chomps. So Chomps is beef jerky. Don't get that confused with carnivore snacks because carnivore snacks is like a dried meat snack and it's not beef jerky. This is beef jerky. It's the best beef jerky ever. And it's all free range, grass fed, all good for you ingredients. This one is the beef and jalapeno stick. I already ate it, but it's amazing and delicious. And all of their products are amazing and delicious as well. And I love that it's all good for you ingredients, and I love that it's grass fed. I don't eat meat that is not grass fed. It sounds very obnoxious, I guess you would say, but a grass fed diet is ideal for a cow. A pasture raised diet is ideal for animals. We shouldn't be feeding them garbage that is not part of their diet because it affects the quality of their meat. So, you can use our coupon code. It is with Smith, same exact coupon code for 10% off all orders, an additional 10% off subscriptions. And you can use that same coupon code for SeatGeek. You will get $20 off your first purchase. It's a ticket website. You get tickets for concerts, sporting events, literally anything that you want. Maybe Eminem will go on tour soon. You can use it for that. That would be cool. And you'll save $20 on your first purchase. The link for everything is in the description below. Check out our Amazon storefront. We got some cool stuff in there that I know you'd like. Some of my favorite stuff that like the 2 girls that watch this video will like, and then like a bunch of James's favorite stuff. And the link for that's in the description below. I think I said that. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on all social media channels if you want to. And that's enough from me.
All right, here we go. Remind Me.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, girl. So I drive you crazy. You make me crazy too. You make me do things I normally wouldn't do. You make me feel things that I ain't never felt. You gotta be the real thing. 'Cause you remind me of myself.
Okay,
Was it?
so that's the intro. which is a separate track on the album.
So he's like into this girl.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, briefly, he says a few things. There's a beat, which is it's kind of different from the beat of the song, which I suppose is why they made separate tracks out of it.
Yeah.
And he just says, "Damn girl, you drive me crazy. You may be crazy too. You make me do things I normally wouldn't do." So yeah,
Yeah,
likes
like
her.
self-explanatory.
You make me feel things that I never felt. You got to be the real thing because you remind me of myself.
Interesting. So he's saying he's real, so she's real.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So now we will get into the song.
Me and myself.
Um,
I bust in, devilish grin, disgusting asshole, freckled cheeks and a butt chin. Calling all party animals, get on the floor when I pop up on some whack-a-mole shit. In search of a chick who's stacked and so thick and implants are so big. She can hang me up on that rack, big old tits like Anna Nicole Smith. Bodies, bananas, and sass to go with. I spot you at first glance and go, shit, you're wearing those pants that don't fit. That butt won't ever give up. That's why you stick it out no matter what. Cause you got an ass that won't quit. So get on the horn, my saxophone, grab hold of my instrument, get a grasp and blow. You just laugh and go, cause you're just as nasty, so that's appropriate. That's why I love you, cause you remind me of me. That's why I love you, cause you're like me. I say I love you, cause you remind me of me. That's why I love you, cause you're like me. Nasty.
yeah, so I forgot about this song. I do know this song. I love Joan Jett. So that's why he's saying that I like this song and he knew that I would, even though I didn't remember because I
Yes.
like the sample for sure. And it is good. I love that he uses the beat from I Love Rock and Roll
Yeah.
and still some of her vocals in the chorus.
Yeah, it's they actually blended it really well because so I remember the first time I heard it, I'm expecting to hear "I love rock and roll," so I was like, "Oh, it sounded weird to me because I was used to it, you know." But
He like switch he like
well,
chopped it up.
he enters his own words, but it goes really well, and
Yeah.
it's like a fun song.
Yeah.
So Rick Rubin, I believe, produced this, which makes sense. He's really good at kind of mixing the old school and stuff.
Good at just everything,
Yeah, he's
apparently.
crazy in like every genre. Okay, so Eminem comes in. First verse, there's nothing before this, right? No. So he says, yes, I bust in, devilish grin, disgusting, asshole, freckled cheeks, and a butt chin, which is very funny.
So he comes in like just has like like a something on his mind, like devilish grin. So he's
Yeah,
planning something.
yes.
And like asshole and butt chin that kind of like coincides.
Yeah, the asshole butt chin. But yeah, so
Yeah.
he's saying, like, yeah, he's disgusting and he's an asshole. And then he describes his facial features, which, like you just said, the butt chin goes with asshole to play on that. Then he says, colon, all party animals, get on the floor when I pop up on some whack-a-mole shit. So pop up whack-a-mole, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he's saying like when I pop up, meaning like when he's there, when he's out, club or whatever. In search of a chick who's stacked and so thick. So he wants a girl with big boobs.
And butt.
Yeah. And implants are so big, she could hang me up on that rack. Big old tits, like Anna Nicole Smith.
That's very big.
And so that she could hang me up on that rack. So that's like a play. So rack is another word for tits. Yeah. And then a rack where you could hang something up. So he's doing a play on that. And then references Anna Nicole Smith, who had big boobs infamously.
Yeah.
And he says, bodies, bananas, and sass to go with. I spot you at first glance and go, shit. So self-explanatory.
Yeah, like, oh
He
wow.
spots her, interesting. He says, you're wearing those pants that don't fit.
Spots like bananas.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
I mean, yeah, it's a thing. Then he says, you're wearing those pants that don't fit.
Maybe
So
they're too tight.
tight. Then he says, that butt won't ever give up. That's why you stick it out no matter what, huh? Because you got an ass that won't quit.
Okay.
Such a really cool thing he did there.
So like wait, so like her butt is like really big, obviously that's what he's saying. But then like you stick it out no matter what, like you like poke your butt out, whatever. But also, like, that's why you say, like, you stick it out at a job, no
Yeah.
matter what. So, like, you won't quit.
Yeah, so he kind of does the same thing in three different lines in three different ways here. So he says that butt won't ever give up. So that's like an expression which he later says he got an ass that won't quit, right?
Yeah.
Big whatever. So he does the won't give up, and then he says that's why you stick it out. So if you
Yeah.
stick something
Oh,
out,
yeah. I forgot that give up went with that too.
yeah, like so yeah, if you're like sticking something out, you're not giving up,
Yeah.
right? And then he says because you got an ass that won't quit. So
Mhm.
he's literally saying the same thing, kind of, in three different lines, three different ways. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All about her ass being big and won't quit.
Yeah.
Then he says, so get on the horn, my saxophone, grab hold of my instrument, get a grasp and blow. And then you hear, so it says we, but you hear the
The noise
sound.
of a saxophone.
So he does a nice play here where he says, get on the horn, my saxophone.
He's talking about his penis.
Well, his ball sack, my saxophone. His sack is a phone. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So he's doing a play on his dick and balls, right? And
Mhm.
then he says, so get on the horn, which is like a horn's on the name for like a phone, right? If you're on the horn, you're on the phone. And then he does my saxophone, so the phone with the horn, and then the sack, and then obviously the instrument, which is a saxophone, and then
Yeah.
blow with the we sound. So it's a cool little scheme there. And then it says, you just laugh and go hee hee, which rhymes with the we from the instrument being played.
Yeah.
And then because you're just as nasty, so that's appropriate. That's why. And then it goes into the chorus, which is Joan Jett and Eminem alternating lines.
Mhm.
So it's I love you because you remind me of me. That's why I love you because you're like me. Yeah, me. I said I love you because you remind me of me. That's why I love you because you're like me. Nasty. Yeah, me. So he changes a little at the end there.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
Well,
This
she
is
changes it completely because she says, I love rock and roll.
No, I'm just talking about from here to there. It's like it says because you're like me, yeah, me. It's like you're like me, nasty. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's funny because this is like straight like narcissism. It's like I like you because you're like me. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
It's
That's
very funny.
funny.
It's a very fun song. All right, this is where we left off. We'll pick it up here.
You know, I'm wearing a new shirt tonight too. Yo. With me on it. I'm looking at your tight rear like a sightseer. Your booty is heavy duty, like diarrhea. The plan's to bring you to my house. You're drinking Jack and Beam. I'm thinking soon as trampoline, so we should bounce. But you're out of your tube top. If you're thinking that me casa is su casa, yeah, you're a cute fox. Perfect 10, so back that up like a moonwalk. Girl, you're smoking like Snoop Dogg, but you must be token. If you think you're taking over my quarters, there goes a dime into the jukebox. 2 shots of blue hypnotic and soon up. Turn this pool hall to a barroom brawl. So Rick's cash on the brink, like the cue ball. Turn the volume all the way up on your boombox. And excuse the locker room talk, I'm just too raw. But apparently so are you, ma. Cause you just kicked me in the balls and told me to screw off. And that's why I love you. Cause you remind me of me. That's why I love you. Cause you're like me. Yeah, me. I say I love you. Cause you remind me of me. That's why I love you. Cause you're like me. Nasty.
Break this down real quick. That line made me laugh so hard. I knew it was coming, and it literally makes me genuinely laugh every time I hear it.
Because she gets knocked into the
He says that so he's doing a play on put another dime in the jukebox, baby, and he goes here goes another dime in the jukebox, and he pushes her into the jukebox,
Yeah.
which is so funny. So he does this little, I guess, I don't know, interlude bridge here, and he just says, I'm wearing a new shirt tonight too, with me on it, which is very funny because I mean he's famous enough that
Yeah,
there's
there are
shirts out, yeah,
shirts.
and it goes with the theme of the song. You remind me of me. That's why I like you.
Narcissist.
Yes. So he says, I'm looking at your tight rear like a sightseer. Your booty is heavy duty like diarrhea. So this is funny. This is a infamous line when Eminem, he might have been on Crooked Eyes podcast, one of the podcasts. Eminem brought up that he was so mad at people that were shitting on him for this line. He's like, it was meant to be silly. He's like, it's not meant to be, anything
No, I
crazy.
know. It's just bleh.
But he so he was mad that people like critiquing him, like, oh, how can you think this is a great line? He's like,
It's a good
he's
line.
like,
It's just gross.
yeah, but that wasn't what people were saying. I mean, I'm sure people were
They're saying it's
saying,
a bad line.
yeah,
It's
like that's
clever.
and I agree, it
I'm just like
is.
the heavy part. Like,
But like
no.
he explicitly mentioned this as an example of like people talking shit. And he's like, "Fuck you! I'm just having fun. This is every line's
Yeah,
not
there's
meant to be
nothing
amazing."
wrong with it. It's just gross.
Yes. So when he says looking at your tight rear like a sightseer, so he's really staring, and then your booty is heavy duty diarrhea.
Ugh.
Obviously, duty duty and
Yes.
Doodie or dy. I don't know how you spell duty like poop.
I
So
don't think there's like I think it's a Y.
maybe. Then he says the plan is to bring you to my house. You're drinking Jack and Beam. So Jack Daniels,
Jim
Jim
Beam.
Beam. Yeah, so she's drinking mixing.
Hmm.
And then he says, I'm thinking soon this trampoline, so we should bounce. I love
So
that line.
like, oh, like a trampoline. But
Yes.
thinking that she'll lean, meaning like she'll be drunk
Yeah. He's like,
or
oh,
drink lean
true. But so
afterwards.
like, yeah, so like you just said, she's gonna be fucked up, so she'll be leaning, so we should
Yeah.
bounce, meaning we should leave, but then trampoline sounds like
Is that you bounce on.
trampoline and then you
Yeah.
bounce on it. Yes. Then he says, but you're out of your tube top, which is funny.
Hmm.
If you're thinking that mi casa es su casa,
My house is your
yeah, so
house.
instead of like you're out of your mind, he's saying you're out of your tube top, which is a funny way to say it. And he
Yeah.
says, yeah, you're a cute fox, perfect 10. So back that up like a moonwalk. So this is funny. He introduces perfect 10 here in order to do the dime line later.
Oh,
Do you know what I
right.
mean?
Okay.
So it's cool. It's like your perfect 10, so back that up like a moonwalk. So back it, I could like back that ass up, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And Moonwalk, Michael Jackson, obviously
Yes.
backwards. Says, "Girl, you're smoking like Snoop Dogg." Self-explanatory. He's infamous for smoking. But you must be token if you think you're taking over my quarters. There goes another
Hmm.
dime into the jukebox.
It's like a quarter would be like your where you live, but then like a quarter quarter.
Yes. So he said you must be token if you think so. You've got to be
Oh, a
crazy.
token.
Yes, so you got to be like
Like a
smoking
dime
something,
token.
but yes, token is
Yeah.
like a coin of some sort. If you think you're taking over my quarters, you already explained it's like your area, but then obviously the change, and then you hear him push her. There goes another dime into the jukebox, which is a play on the original, which is why I
You like
find it,
put another dime in the jukebox,
yeah,
baby.
which is why I find it so funny. You hear her crash and scream, but yeah, he introduces it a few lines before, which I love, and then
Mm.
yeah, so obviously um, token, quarter, dime, all that. Then he says, two shots of blue hypnotic, and soon I'll turn this pool hall into a bar room brawl.
Which
So,
is funny because isn't that like I don't drink anymore, but from what I remember, it's like mostly it's like barely
like Alizé,
alcohol.
it's like very
It's like
light.
a juice.
It is, yeah. So I wonder if he's saying like, oh, we're partying like trashy, or if he's implying like I'm sober. So two shots of blue hypnotic literally would fuck me up this
Oh,
much. I don't
true.
know how he means it. But yeah, so he says if he's drinking, it's gonna be a brawl. He says, so Rick, scratch on the brake like a cue ball. So this is a really cool line. So Rick Rubin, who
Yeah.
produced this, so scratch on the brake. So that's like a DJ thing, right? And so but like a cue ball.
So like pool,
Yeah,
like when
so
you break the
yeah, so he mentions the pool hole the line before, and when you start a game, you
yes.
line them up in the triangle and then you break, right?
Mhm.
And if the white ball that you're breaking with goes in the pocket
Then you
without
gotta
any
do it
hitting balls or you
again.
miss, that's called a scratch.
Yeah.
So then yeah.
Right? You gotta do it again. I
So
don't know. I don't play pool.
the other person gets the ball then, typically.
Okay.
Yes. So then he says, turn the volume up, turn the volume all the way up on your boom box. So partying. And then he continues, he says, and excuse the locker room talk. I'm just too raw, but apparently so are you, Ma. So the locker room talk, I don't know if you remember, that's a reference to Trump when the Access Hollywood tape came out where he talks about
The great.
grab him by the pussy. He
Yeah.
said, or I don't know if he said it, but everybody was like, people that were like supporting, defending him, they're like, that's just locker room talk. That's how guys talk. So that's where that line comes
I
from.
mean, they do talk like that.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you can pretend like they don't, but
I
like
know.
they're doing it right now.
For sure.
Go into any locker room near you.
Yeah. So then he's saying, yeah, he's raw, but so is she. Because you just kicked me in the balls and told me to screw off, and that's why. So he likes that she's crazy.
Hmm.
All right, and then we get into the chorus. I think there's a bridge, but we're gonna let the rest of the song play out, and then we will break it down. Let's see, where are we?
Take you home where we can be alone.
Shorty, you the shit, girl, I order you to sit. I know you're probably feeling me more than you admit. Pull up a chair, sweetie, let me order you a drink. I only go to meetings, court ordered from a shrink. So from the bottom to the top, floor to the ceiling. You ain't running a mill, you're one in a million. Cause real tits are still fun, but everybody knows fake tits are still better than real ones. So come and spend the night with the guy most to terrify her. But tonight curiosity overrides you. Beside you, fire like a starter pistol, crystal and slide, hun. Tonight I'm your pilot. Cause you should be up in the sky, girl. You're so fucking fly. You belong in the Mile High Club. So come on, baby, tonight's young. Don't string me along, I'm high strung. We might wind up on mound like we're trying for the Cy Young. Fucking before we get to the house, screwing our brains out like changing a light bulb. That's why I like ya, cause I'm crazy just like ya. Now every time I get brain you screw mine up, I barely can think straight. Your head game is a mind fuck. So ready, set, aim, and fire. Yes, babe, I'm falling in like that's kinda what I love you. Cause you remind me of me. That's why I love you. Cause you're like me. I say I love you. Cause you remind me of me. That's why I love you. Cause you're like me. Yes, me.
So after the second chorus, there's a little, again, a bridge or post chorus. I don't know what you would call it. He says, so it's again, it's Joan Jett, Eminem. I said
Eminem.
that weird.
Eminem.
Eminem. So yeah, it's both of them. It's her from the original, and then like he's finishing the line with his new version.
Yeah, by changing it to you.
Yeah, so it
And
said,
then me, remind me, me, whatever.
yeah, it said, can I take you home where we can be alone? Shorty, you the shit. Girl, I ordered you to sit. I know you're probably feeling me more than you admit. Pull up a chair, sweetie. Let me order you a drink. So this is like just
Yeah,
self-explanatory. He's
there's
trying to be
nothing
alone.
hidden in there.
The I ordered you to sit is just funny. That he's just like
But
telling her.
the "Can I take you home or will you be alone?" That's from the original.
Yes, it is. You're feeling me more than you admit. Pull up a chair, sweetie. Let me order you a drink. I only go to meetings court ordered from a shrink, which is really funny. So he's like, I only go because I have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's the only time I'm going there. So assuming like AA or whatever, maybe anger, but I think AA is implied.
yeah.
So from the bottom to the top, floor to ceiling, you ain't run of the mill. You're one in a million. It's a,
Which is a good sounds good because a
yeah,
mill and mill.
yeah, it's a cool line. So yeah, run of the mill means you're just like average, standard, and then you're one in a million, but then obviously the mill and million, like you pointed out.
Mm.
And then he says, out of nowhere, this is so funny, because real tits are still fun, but everybody knows fake tits are still better than real ones.
Really though?
I mean, I don't think so at all, but
Like, I would just assume, like, if you had someone who had, like, perfect natural ones and then, like, perfect
fake
fake
one,
ones,
yeah,
I think the perfect natural ones would be
I
better.
would think so.
But that's just
Again, this
me.
might be one of his things where he likes talking about like trashy and like liking trashy stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Trashy. I mean, implants are insanely expensive. They're not very you're not really gonna find them on that many I don't think they'd
Some
be
of
that
them,
trashy.
like
It's like
strippers and
thousands
stuff.
of oh.
You know what I
But
mean?
still, they're spending thousands of dollars on that. Like, it's not
Cheap.
like, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
cheap. Maybe distasteful, but I'm not gonna say trashy.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I think there's a lot of trashy ones.
Eh.
So he continues. So this is into the third verse. So come and spend the night with the guy most are terrified of. But tonight, curiosity overrides you. So that's funny. He's acknowledging a lot of people are scared of him, but she's
Yeah.
interested. Besides, you're fired up like a starter pistol. Crystal, let's slide, Huns. Tonight, I'm your pilot, because you should be up in the sky, girl. You're so fucking fly, you belong in the Mile High Club. So
Okay, some pretty cool one-liners here.
yeah, so with the fired up like a starter pistol. So
Like a gun
yeah, you get it.
fire.
Yes. And then so apparently this girl's name is Crystal. And then he says, Pilot,
Mm-hmm.
should be up in the sky because you're so fucking fly.
In Mile High
Mile High
Club, we
Clubs.
saw a sky airplane theme.
Yes. And it continues. So come on, baby. The night's young. Don't string me along. I'm high strung.
That's a good line.
Yeah, the string and strung. But yeah, high strung means he's like tightly wound, anxious, like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it says we might wind up on the mound like we're trying for the Cy Young. Okay, so this is cool. Do you
Yeah, I
know?
don't
So
know.
Cy Young's so he was a baseball player, but it's a baseball award.
Oh, okay.
So Cy Young, so he says, okay, so we might wind up on the mound. So
Oh, like end up there, but also like winding up for the pitch.
yes, literally wind up on the mound. They literally pitcher's mound. It's called
Yeah.
like we're trying for the Cy Young. So yeah, so like you're trying to get the trophy for pitching, but then yeah, wind up on the mound. So when he says wind, I'm trying to think of like the sexual thing. Wind up on the mound. I don't know if he means like mount, like they're mounting, or do you know
Or
what I
her
mean?
vagina.
Maybe, but he's saying we might wind up. Whatever. I get what he's saying. Do you know what I mean?
Or it's a bed.
Maybe.
But he said before we get to the house.
Yes. So I don't know. Whatever. We get what he's saying. It's a nice play on words. Then he says, fucking before we get to the house, screwing our brains out like changing a light bulb. So screwing,
Yeah.
changing a light bulb. Self explanatory. Then he says, that's why I like ya, because I'm crazy just like ya. Now every time I get brain, you screw mine up. I barely can think straight. Your head game is a mind fuck. So that's a cool. He does so every time I get brain. So every time she gives him head, his brains get screwed up, and then he flips it and he says, "I can't think straight because his brain's screwed up." And then says, "Your head game is a mind fuck." So head game meaning like the oral sex,
Yeah. And then
but
like literally head fuck,
game,
mind fuck.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then he says, "So ready, set, aim, and fire." Yes, babe, I'm falling in like. That's kinda why I love. And then it goes
The
back into
chorus
the
again.
chorus. Yes, and then that is it. Just repeats the chorus.
Yes. So this song is very, very, very good. I really like it. Like I said, I love Joan Jett. I love this song. And I like a lot of his rhyme schemes in it. He did a really good job on this one, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It's like a fun song. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And it uses the same beat. So like I
Yes.
end up I like it.
Yeah, like by default, you're gonna like
Yeah,
it.
that's what I
You
was
know what I
trying to
mean?
say.
But with that being said, he did what he had to do. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like, oh, I like the original, that's why I like this. Like he did his own little twist and it worked really well.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
really like it.
Yeah, honestly, I forgot this was on here till we got up to this. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about
Yeah,
this.
I don't remember anything. I like barely remember the song.
Yeah, I know. It's really good though.
But yeah, so definitely check out Carnivore Snacks, Chomps, SeatGeek, our Amazon storefront, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.